crystal on them, and that's what. So it will
Hello, everyone.
protect the feed and stuff that we have.
Happy Friday.
Now, do the feed dogs come up automatically, or do
Yes.
they? Okay.
Yes, this machine is automatic. Any other machine underneath this is not. So now you can lower your pencil bed. And you could probably just
Take your phone.
So
See
it
if I'm on.
does tell you if you need to change the plate, there's plate here, right?
What's going on?
says there's 15 people.
Oh,
Yeah, I see you turning around and coming back.
okay. Wow, on time. I know. Hi, everyone.
Okay.
I hope everyone is having a lovely day. Getting ready for Memorial Day. Hi, Connie.
Okay.
Hi, Laura. So we're just going to give it a few more minutes for people to hop on. And I will let everyone know that today's live is a live that was done as a request. So we are going to be doing another episode of the holiday rope bowls. Or not another, I guess I should say. We have done a video on the Happy Place. And we've done an in-store class on the holiday rope bowls, but there is a difference, and we will go over that here in just a moment. Hi, Val. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Phyllis. Hi, Miss Nancy. The weekend is here. You're right, Rosie. Hi, Barb. All right, so we are going to be doing a Memorial Day sale, so we will be sending an email out about that if we haven't already. We have some upcoming classes, and you can visit our website at aboveandbeyondsewing.com to check out the calendars to see what you're interested in. Hi, Jeanette. Okay, so I have a couple jokes for you. What has 5 toes but isn't your foot? My foot. It was a lot funnier when I heard it than repeating it. Hi, Karen. Hope to see you at Castle Rock next week. So next week we have our booth at the Castle Rock show. So I hope those of you who are local are able to stop in and pay us a visit. We'd love to see you. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff there to share with everyone. So we're really looking forward to it. We are in preparation of getting everything ready for that. So we're very, very excited. All right. I have one more joke. What did the blanket say as it was falling off the bed? Oh, sheet. Oh, good, Rosie. I'm glad. Hi, Amy. Oh, man. I forgot something. I'll be right back.
Stretch it and not have any of it changing the size, the proportional. If you needed to make it fatter, if you wanted the height to stay the same, that kind of thing. And then we have our reverse, and set, which is just kind of underneath. It's not necessarily like sewn in reverse and it's always, but it's like that. So
I forgot something else. Sorry. Whew. All right, so we are going to cover the things for today. If I stop dropping stuff, that would be lovely. All right, so we are going to, hi Susan, we are going to be going over, kind of look like a duck, quack quack. So we are going to be working on KimberBell holiday rope bowls. So hi Michelle. I just have a few things to go over with you. So KimberBell first came out with the Happy Place embroidery projects, and that's this here. These are with round bases. We have done this before as a live, and I'm not 100% sure on the of when we did that. It was a while back, but we do have that up on the website if anyone is interested in that. And of course, they do have the Happy Place embellishment kit. So that is the same thing, but the holiday rope bowls are oval bases, and they are obviously, with it being titled holiday rope bowls, it is holiday themed. So you have Easter, you have 4th of July, some Christmas, Thanksgiving, some really cute designs in there, and they give you an option to make them in a 5x7 or I believe an 8x12 hoop. So I have a sample that I can show you. However, I do want to say before I show this, this is not a design on the base that is for sale. This is from the Day at the Spa KimberBell event, but it's just to give you an idea of the bowl. So I wanted to show you that this piece right here is what you'll get in your embellishment kits when you purchase that for either or. The holiday rope bowl embellishment kits come with like a strawberry. It comes with a variety of different tassels and a 4-leaf clover and a little holly. Hold on. So there's a holly berry on there, sounds like I said Halle Berry, an acorn, a bat, a flower, a heart, a 4-leaf clover, and a strawberry. And then you get some tassels. And then you get beads that you can put onto your bowls. So on this one, we have a loop. So there's no stitching here. It's not going to get anywhere near your needle. So you have these other beads that you can put onto your rope as a decorative look. You can also do this on the handles by skipping just a little bit of an area here, but some handles there, and they are so cute. So the last thing that you get in your embellishment kit that I haven't covered are these little pieces of leather, and you can get multiples out of the cuts of leather that you get in here. So obviously the biggest thing that you're going to need for your rope bowls from KimberBell are obviously the designs. However, you will need the project rope. So on the KimberBell project rope, you get, it is a 1/4 of an inch, and you get 100 feet of the project rope. So we are going to go over the steps on creating our bowl, going over the options of keeping it without any fabric wrapped around it at some point, or adding that or not. So we do have denim needles online for today as well, because you do want to make sure you change your needle to a jeans or denim needle, because you are going through a substantially thicker amount of material than when you're just traditionally sewing. And then before we get started, I am going to show you the Fab 5. So today's Fab 5 is a You Are Cherished bundle. So this is our focal fabric here. It says you are loved and you are cherished in a variety of different colors. So you have some blenders in here that will accommodate the colors in the writing. And again, that is our Fab 5, and we will go over that again here in just a little bit. Okay, so first of all, we have our base already stitched. So this is from the Holiday Rope Bowls. This is the Sweet Land of Liberty. And I'm just going to go over how this is stitched out in the hoop. So again, you're going to select your size, whether that's the 5x7 or the 8x12 option. You'll cut your fabrics accordingly. And then you will stitch a tack down line, and then you will place 2 layers of the shape form, stitch those in place, and trim those away. Then it's going to stitch a placement line so you know where to place your fabrics. Then it's going to tack your fabrics in place. And then it's going to start doing whatever the sentiment is. So for this one, it is very little fabric that's needed. The only fabric that I needed for this is the strawberry. So again, in your instructions, it will tell you ahead of time what your fabric cuts need to be specifically cut to. Same with your shape form and your front piece and your back piece. So then it will complete the sentiment, and then you'll turn your project over to the back. I had mine overlap just a little too much, but then you'll use paper tape to attach that to the back and make sure it doesn't shift. And then the last stitch is going to attach these together. And then you'll remove your project from the hoop, and you'll use pinking shears around the edges to eliminate the excess around all 4 sides. So then if you're wanting to add handles or the project rope, the thing that you'll have to do is with a water soluble or self-erase marker or the Frixion pens, you're going to mark the top of your project with a T for top. We're going to mark the right side with an R, bottom with a B, and left with an L. So the other thing that you can do, and this is something that they did in the Day at the Spa event, is you can get your paper tape and you can find out exactly where your measurement is for the middle, and you can put tape down instead of writing on your fabric, which is always an option as well. So then now we need to get our rope ready. So we have our project rope, and it does come with this tape on the very tip just to keep it from unraveling. So we are going to cut, and then you can kind of like figure out a way to work the casing away from the inside. So now we have the rope exposed. What we're going to do is we're going to pull this and slide down with the other side. So it looks like this. So then you can cut about 1 inch of the innards off. And then from down here, you can just slide it up to get that to be covered. And the reason we're doing this is we're going to insert this into the right side of our base on the back side of the base. So now that we have that, we are going to get some fray check. And I actually want to double this up because it can get messy. And then we're going to just put some of this fray check along the edges. And we're just going to give it a moment to dry. While this is drying, I'm going to get it so it doesn't move around. Now would be a good time to insert your denim needle. We're going to go over to the machine and we're going to select our zigzag stitch. We need to increase the width of our zigzag stitch and the length. You can test this out and see exactly what one works for you, but I'm going to start off with my width at 6 and my length at 3. And my needle's already in. I have my white thread in the top and the bottom. And then I have some of my fabric set off to the side already. So I'm just going to show you how to do the fabrics. So what this tells you to do is to cut a strip and to actually fold this, one of the top edges. So, well, first of all, you need to determine what size bowl you want to make. Then after that, you will figure out what design, you want to put on the base and get that ready. And then the size of your bowl is going to determine how much fabric you need. So you can choose to put the whole thing in rope if that's what you would like. But you are going to take your strips and miter them to make them a giant long strip and set that off to the side for our later steps. All right, so now we're going to check this out, see how it's doing. All right, so then we are going to, again, put our rope in on the right side of our project. So I'm going to flip this over. And I still have tape on mine. So I overlapped mine a bit much. And when I mean a bit, I mean a lot. And that's okay, because like I always say, everything is figure outable. Roll with the punches. All right. So then we are going to use a hot glue stick, or you can use the Unique Stitch sewing with a tube. So it's just like fabric glue. And I'm just going to kind of twist this. And try and get it to be flat. Oi. And we are going to put this on the inside of where our opening is. And see, everybody, you're supposed to shake your fray check and this, and I didn't do it, so learn from my mistakes, okay? All right, so we're going to try this again. Just going to put some in there on the very edge. And then I'm going to push this in there, and then I'm going to use this to push it so that it's right here and not coming in this way. Oh no, girlfriend, I'm a mess maker. And we're just going to hold it there for a moment. And I will say with the KimberBell project rope, you should be able to make a large size bowl and a medium size bowl, or one of each size, depending on how careful you're being with the rope. But typically you could make one of medium size and one of a large size, a small size. And again, that's 100 feet on there. So I'm just going to point out what we're going to look for on our foot. So this is the standard J foot that comes with the Baby Lock machines. We have 3 different lines. So we have a line right here, our center line, and then the line on the right side. So our needle is going to be where the center line is. And that is where we're going to make sure where our 2 pieces of rope are going to be meeting, is going to be where that center mark is. Wrong button. All right. All right, so while we're doing this, what I would recommend is to have some of the rope pulled off and unraveled to start off with. All right. All right, so we have our zigzag stitch already selected, and I am going to start with attaching my rope to the bowl. So like I was saying, the rope and the bowl is going to be, the bowl base is where we're going to keep this centered. So you can see to the right of that center line is the rope. To the left of that center line is the base. And we're going to go around and sew our rope to our bowl. And then I am going to make sure to do a reinforcement. It is also helpful to get your pivoting feature turned on. And then I am just going to unzoom so you can kind of see what I'm doing with the rest of the bowl as I'm doing this. All right, so now here is where we're going to start stitching, not on the base anymore, but rope to rope. My zigzag stitch is at 6.0. And I'm just going to hold my right side real close to the left. And again, you can see that center mark on my foot is where that line is in between my two pieces of rope. This design is from KimberBell. It is the Holiday Rope Bowls. So while we're stitching, I do want to let you guys know that we have just received in the KimberBell Beechwood oval hoops, the KimberBell mesh. It's a 5-pack, and we have put those on line for today as well. So those are in. The thread I'm using in the machine is the cotton thread that we sell here in the store, which is Metler. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stitch, let me see here, 7 rows of our rope, and then we'll start to add some fabric. All right, and so I'm holding the base of my bowl up towards the machine. This is going to be able and allow you to have some curvature to the bowl, making that bowl shape. All right, so I brought my zigzag width down to a 5.0. Yeah, you can use just regular shears. You don't have to do the pinkings. All right, so we're approaching the top. So I'm going to stop when I get to my T, which is kind of hard to see, but it is right here. So we're just about there. And you can get lost. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do all right, so I had some of the rope in my lap, and you don't want your rope to get to the point where it's pulling. So I'm going to stop for a moment and get some more rope pulled out. All right, so now we're back at the top. And right here is where I'm going to start to add some of the fabric. So I'm going to just reinforce right here. I'm going to stop my needle where it's on the left side. All right, so now comes the fun part. And this is something that you can get somebody to come and help you, because it is easier to have somebody hold. Don't let it freak you out. See, I already lost what I was saying. Michelle, isn't a basket and a bowl kind of the same thing? I'm going to Google it. Okay. While we are paused, I am just going to show the Fab 5 bundle one more time. So it is this focal fabric. It says you are cherished and you are loved in really, really beautiful colors. So to match this color, we have this color here. To match this color, we have this color here. And then you even have some gray on here, so a gray. And then more of like an orange. So this is the Fab 5 bundle. Two people hold. Okay, so we have our fabric. And the way that I did it in the Day at the Spa event is you actually don't fold the fabric in half. You take and fold a 1/4 of an inch over and press on all of your strip. So what we're going to do, I have this one already kind of preset. So I'm going to get this in this area here. And I'm going to kind of use my foot. I'm going to give this a little pull. And I'm going to get it so that the folded edge, let me fix that. So the folded edge of the piece that's coming around is kind of down at an angle. And I'm going to gather my strip and throw it on the other side of me, which will make it easier. And then you're going to just cross this over. And then you can use a clip to hold that in place. So now the other thing that you can do is stick the rope underneath your arm just to give it a little bit of tension to help stay flat and taut like this. And then you're going to take your fabric and slowly wrap it around. So you're just making sure that your raw edge is what's being covered.
know then what I tried to order from KimberBell when I did that order for the show, and something told me it wasn't available. I had it in the cart and I took it out.
So it's just a little bit of a process getting used to taking your fabrics, your strip, and rotating it from the left side to the right side. Of your string here, of a rope. All right, so now I'm going to back out a little bit so that you guys can see. It is easier, but I do want to kind of show that it's not impossible to do on your own. Okay, so until I can get a little bit more space here, I'm just going to start sewing this together. Dee, what was your question? I brought it down to a 5 because when it comes to sewing on the base, if you have a wider stitch length, then you're able to kind of push the bowl so that the base is more like pushed inward. And I will show you the difference here in just one moment, okay? All right, so then we are just going to continue with the same method. And I am not changing my thread. All right, so now we're approaching where we need to do a little bit more wrapping. All right, so I'm going to put this back under my arm. I'm going to bring that up a little bit. And all of my strip is in my lap, so I got to fix that. Linda, I have not. I haven't had a terrible time doing it with the J-foot, but I will definitely try that. All right, so Cindy, can you see if they can see me? All right, so the other thing that you can do is if your chair has wheels, you can always scoot back. Can they see what I'm doing? Yeah. Is that all they can see? Okay. All right, so we're going to stitch the rest of this on to see how much it gives us. Linda, I really don't think that one is easier over the other, personally. So with this fabric being a little darker, it can be a little difficult to see in comparison to where the rope on rope is meeting. Like here, pretty sure I missed some. Uh-oh. It didn't want to cut. I hit the wrong button. That's okay. Where, oh, where is my brain? All right, so make sure you don't do what I did, okay? Hit the right button, not the wrong button. Where's my seam? Okay, so we have navy fabric. And white thread, which is going to be very noticeable. All right. So we are now starting our second row of stitching. And now I'm going to be cautious about where I'm starting this. right, so we're already getting to a point where we need to wrap. Bless you. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, let's come back over here. Can you imagine a scalloped edge on the top? So cute. And I think when you go to stop and take out a pin or a clip, it's best to stop with your needle on the right side to kind of hold and give the bowl that stability. All right, so we are coming up where the fabric can come to an end. So what I'm going to do is cut this. And I've kind of tucked it. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, so we want to try and get some distance from our strip here, and then I can show you how you'll make the handles. Okay, so while our project is like this, you're going to want to get your marking pen. And we have the left side here. So then we can make a line that this is going to be the center. And we're going to do that on the opposite side as well. All right, so now we can see the right side. All right, so now we are going to use a ruler. So we have our marked line here, and we're going to measure. I keep misplacing my pen. So we're going to measure 1 inch to the right. And 1 inch to the left. All right, so our handles are going to be created when we have 2 rows of rope after our fabric on both sides. So we're going to sew to our first marked line. And then because this is going to be a handle, you are going to want to reinforce close to that marking. And then we are going to pull our rope off to the side a little bit. For however big you want your handle to be. So the center of this is the sweet land of liberty. We have the patriotic star-spangled fabric for our strip piece. All right, so we have done our reinforcement, and then we are going to pull our rope to be in the size that we want our handle to be. And then we are going to maneuver All right, so we are getting closer to our left side. So I'm going to do my measurement on here. Oop. And then if you want to, you can also mark on your rope. So let's get to that part. So then from here, we're going to mark so our line was 3, so about 3.5 inches. That way, if you need to get up or get called away from your machine, then you know where you're going to have your last marking centered. All right. Get those lined up. And then you're just going to follow the previous All right, so now we're near the top. Then you can measure, depending on what size loop you want, you can cut your rope. Then you're going to do the same thing that you had done at the beginning. Pull this down. Remove that. Pull this. I lost my lid. Yo. find it. And tuck this in. All right. So then you can get your marker if you don't lose your life or your brain. All right. So then this can be open, and then you can have your leather tags and you can attach it on to the top up here. And you just use a sewing needle in order to attach those. But then you have handles on your basket, and then you can get rid of your lines depending on what type of marker you're using. I'm going to find mine and I am going to erase it, but then you have a bowl. So that is what I have for you lovely people today. And then I found my marker. It's on the floor. Friendly little reminder to all of you, because I love you all. Look and check your surroundings before you get up. Because the first rope bowl that I made, I left the rope on the floor, and I went and got up and tripped over it and almost died. I mean, I'm being very dramatic, but I did fall. So please be careful. The width of my strip that I did, Susan, was a 2-inch strip. I don't want to see anybody getting hurt. Not on my watch. All right. Well, you guys have a lovely weekend, and I hope you guys enjoy the Memorial Day holiday, and we will see you on Monday. Bye, everyone.